I don't know if we can get right into the music topic or not, but I was watching this podcast and they were listening to secular music as Christians, and I put them on a higher pedestal because, you know, we're all in this growth together. I'm trying to grow more. So these one particular people said, you know, secular music was okay. So I was dealing with that, and I was only listening to gospel music. So I had got back into secular music, and you know, now I'm just now these past week trying to cut it out. And I feel like, you know, love songs and stuff are good, but just I'm listening to different types of raps and R&B and just toxic music that's like messing, like fogging my brain, I feel like. But the thing was I was influenced by them, and they later came out, you know, and they grew on their own with saying like, you know, secular music is bad. But just me listening to them, I thought it was okay. Right. So we need to watch, you know, how we influence each other, and how, like, if we're wrong, say we're wrong, and let's all help each other grow so none of us are down bad.
And even if you promoted it before, coming and saying, well, yeah, I was wrong, like you said. And, you know, music is kind of a tricky one. People may say that's a personal conviction. Like, a lot of people, even a lot of Christians, are not on that wave. But if, like, tell me what comes from a sad song.
Right. But it does say watch your ear gates and your eye gates and stuff. Yeah. So cussing on a song and talking about something toxic, what is that going to do for me? Thinking about a toxic situation.
Right. If you listen to a sad song, you're going to be sad. If you listen to an angry song, like, if you listen to Young Boy, you're going to be angry. Like, if you listen to drama-filled music like Summer Walker, like, you're going to get into that drama. Like, if you listen to Heartbreak, which is everybody and their mama singing that, you know, you're going to want to go back to that person. You're going to want to think about them. Like, your brain is going to be filled with these memories and these peoples and these past emotions that don't serve you or don't serve God.
Yeah, my spirit just feels so much better listening to just gospel music. Yeah. So, like, even if you are listening to music that's not cussing or is just love old school music, still not listening to it more than gospel or more into your word, like, that should be a tiny percent. But mostly you need to be listening to Christian music.
And Jesus loves praise and worship so much, and the fact that we choose to praise and worship to secular music more than him or at all is so sad. And I know that God is, like, so disgusted with that type of behavior. Because it's literally, it's a form of worship. That's what we're doing. When you singing these songs, you're chanting them, you're repeating them, you're singing those words to yourself over and over again. That's what it is. Whether you look at it like that or not, it is.
Yeah, you recently convicted me of, like, even concerts. Like, I only been in one concert, but I've been craving to go to, like, these secular people concerts. She was like, no, you're lifting your hands in the air for these people, you're screaming for them, you're doing all this. And let's be real, half of us are not doing that at church. So
clack it.
So it just convicted me. I'm like, okay, I'm never going to a secular artist concert again, because what am I doing? I'm screaming for this man on stage for what? And I do not be screaming at church for Jesus. Right. So
singing the words out in the car.
Like, now I get shy when I go to church.
Exactly. So, and just a couple more verses to go with that. It's 1 Corinthians 10. So whatever you eat, drink, or whatever you do, do it all for the glory of God. Do not cause anyone to stumble. That's been what we've been talking about this whole time. Like, I feel like that's a really good one to highlight and memorize. Matthew 12. You brood of vipers, how can you who are evil say anything good? For the mouth speaks what the heart is full of. A good man brings good things out of the good stored up in him. An evil man brings evil things out of the evil stored up in him. That's another thing to go with what we've been talking about. Be a good example. Fill yourself with the good things so you can give out the good things that you've received. Philippians 4. And now, dear brothers and sisters, one final thing. Fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. If it's not all those things, honorable, right, just, lovely, all that thing in the music, whether it be being drunk, whatever, if it's not those things, just cut it out. Yeah. And like we said, it's not easy, but let this episode be your motivation or your conviction or whatever. Be a good advice, good example to work on it, to do those things.
Yeah. And like I was saying, like, these are more like specific things we're dealing with. You know, you could be dealing with anger, or like, it's easy to go off on somebody, but it's harder to be patient. It's harder to be quiet. So, like, whatever you're dealing with, you know, kind of take this episode and put it into your own self, so
make
you
it
could
personal.
Yeah, figure out how you can go forward, because I know we're saying like specific topics, but it could be anger, it could be impatience, it could be little things. It doesn't have to be so big. Like, I know a lot of you guys probably aren't dealing with sexual sin and drinking and that far left, but it could be just little, like rude, you have an attitude problem, or just little things. Take into your life and try to change, because we all have something, we all dealing with something, and we all have a type of sin that we need to deal with.